Well, hello world, and let me ask you this question. Is video game violence to blame? But it's kind of a hard question to ask and a hard question to define and direct and to understand, like, well, what exactly is going on? What are we doing as a people? What's going on? And um, I'm kind of doing this also in response to Mr. Jack Thompson, lawyer from Florida, and also a MSNBC interview with Mayor Bart Peterson of Indianapolis, who's the president of it's League of Cities, something weird like that. But he made a statement at the end saying that there's a proven link between video game violence and violent acts, and Mr. Your Honor, Mr. Peterson, I beg to disagree. That has been proven false, or proven not to be the case. There is an increased rate of aggression in certain people that play, especially if they're exposed to violent material, but that's given for anything. The thing to remember is that what people desire, what people want to experience, they will pursue. It's kind of like how little children they'll find the porn. Like even myself, there's Playboy magazines. Oh, let's go find it. Let's go dig it up. Um, and something else to realize is that, well, to categorically and emphatically say this individual purposely trained on this video game. He purposely used this video game to prepare himself for an act of violence. That is, in my opinion, making a connection that may or may not be true. It would kind of be like me studying Spanish and with the intention of overthrowing a Latin American country. I believe. Now, video game violence, it can be used to teach you, it can be used to train you. That's the idea of a lot of video games, that they're simulations, that they're simulators, that they will prepare you and train you and make you think, put you in a position of a certain individual, and you have goals. And something to realize is that the more popular video games are the more realistic ones. So you're going to see a lot of video games that have realistic depictions of violence, and then also unrealistic depictions of violence, and that is for the purpose of entertainment. Now, I know this is a sensitive area, but the people of Iraq, in a lot of cases, get electricity for maybe 3 hours once a day. And yet we see this very aggressive, violent campaign going on between different groups of people in Iraq. And, so are they training with video games, to do this? No, they're improvising explosives. They have a desire to commit violence, and they are pursuing it. They are, exercising that desire through whatever means is available to them. In my opinion, that's the same case as any individual. If they have a desire for something, they will pursue it. They will explore that desire. The same case in like the French Resistance against the German occupation during World War II. There's this consensus feeling that the French were effete and not they didn't have a heart to fight, and that's why they were taken over. Yet people would take their lives in their hands and fight for freedom and for what they felt was right. And some of them were educated, some of them just kind of learned what they were doing as they went. And it takes a lot of courage to stand up to basically the most powerful army in the world and to say, no, this is my land. I'm not gonna allow you to control it, to rule it. By the way, I'm speaking about the French. So, in my opinion, it's very difficult to link things, and in particular, link a video game with this event. In particular, Your Honor, Mr. Peterson, when the question was asked, should laws be passed, should parents take action, the answer you gave, in my opinion, and I'm putting words in your mouth, sir, I apologize, is that you are trying to inspire fear. And in my opinion, if that's not your intention, then I apologize. But that is what I'm picking up from you, sir. That you're just trying to say, this is a problem. This is a problem. It needs to be fixed. We have to worry. And in my opinion, sir, that's just a wrong way to approach it. And in fact, why would you, in this moment of pain and grief, want to inspire fear? Want to raise concerns of fear? Shouldn't concerns about, well, something has been done. We need to see that justice is handled, and if justice is handled, then okay, are people being compensated for their problems, for what has happened to them? That's something else to realize and consider, because just some people, they depend on other people, and they're an old couple sends their child to college hoping that they'll get a good job out of that, and now they can't be taken care of anymore. So what's to happen there? I think that's a more important issue to consider and think about than, well, was this guy playing Counter-Strike for one too many hours? But that's just my opinion. I can play video games, and the thing is, I've also hunted, and I handled a knife, I've handled a sword, I've handled all sorts of weapons, and both in the military and out. And to some degree, I sometimes wonder and think, well, could I handle things? Could I handle a situation where I was killing people? Or could I possibly put myself into that position? And that's something that I even explore in writing. And it's for that purpose of, well, can you put yourself in that position? Can you work yourself up, or can you prepare yourself? Can you train yourself? Or can you just walk straight into a situation where you have to take a life? So, and that, in all the scenarios I think of and come up with, the thing is, there's always fear keeping people from operating. And people who are not afraid, they're not aware of the fear. Or they're not trained, they don't believe that there should be a fear. So that's something to realize. And then the other aspect is that, yes, they require training. If they wanted to, something else to realize is that people aren't going to kill other people unless they think that they can get away with it, that they will survive it. And exceptions is suicide attacks, but even then, it's the expectation that they will succeed, that death will occur. And once you understand that, and once you think about that in your mind, that's when you're going to start rehearsing. That's when you're going to start practicing. So, in my opinion, what the individual did was they had decided upon in their mind what they wanted, and this is evidenced by their writing. And they looked around their environment and decided, well, what can I use to achieve my goals? And that's what they did. And in my opinion, that's what anybody would do. And, to achieve your goals, to achieve what you want, to do what you think is right, you will seek out what you can and use it. And that's just the way anything works. So then, how do you stop people? Look at what they're purchasing. Look at what they're using to achieve their ends. And if possible, look at their motivations. Look at what's happening within the person, within the group of individuals. So, just something I'm thinking about, and I felt like sharing with the world.